I think the most damning, uh, I guess, thing that I thought was probably the biggest issue for Barbara Lee was her connection to Sheng Tao and the fact that she didn't. She said the recall is unconstitutional or some bullshit like that. Um, the truth is, if I was Lauren Taylor, I would have had a press conference. I'm just going to be honest. I would have had a press conference, and you know that picture that was circulating of the two of them going, I would have had that blown up like a billboard. And I would have had that on as many billboards as I could have had in Oakland. But he didn't do it. He didn't hammer it home. Now, there were people hammering that home every day for him. And I was completely disappointed to not see him embrace that and go, that's fucking right. She's looking at 95 years and they're hugging. And some of the donors that took all that much shit, like they're connected. But the fact that we talked about it, people talked about it, I talked about it, not a lot. I mean, I'm not bringing it up with the candidates because I'm interviewing them for you guys. It's their show. But I'm just saying, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't make a thing of it. And I appreciate that's not his style. And that's what I discovered by watching things unfold. I'm like, it's not his style. It's cool. Now, the only time he got in the mix was he did a video. Maybe he did two of them. But he did a video because that flyer came out saying he was for defunding the police. And that flyer actually had some truth to it. I looked into it. And I was actually going to I'm not saying he was defunding the police, but I looked at the flyer and I researched because the flyer had all these articles. I researched it last week and I looked at it and I said, there's a little bit of truth to it. There's a grain of truth to some of this. Some of but it was kind of a yes and no, right? So it's kind of not a point now. In fact, he's not on the council. He's not going to be mayor. He's not a politician for you. So what Lauren Taylor did in the past doesn't necessarily matter because everybody was part of it. They're all guilty. They're all fucking guilty. You need to own it. And it's Lauren's fault too. Sorry. He was on the council. That was another thing I think was a problem. I didn't quite see the change. I didn't see him as the change candidate. So one, here's my breakdown. He did not hammer home the corruption. You had one job, Lauren Taylor. One job, dude. You didn't do it. You had one job. That's how you win elections. I'm sorry. That's how you win elections. You got to go strong on the negative. Sorry. So they went negative on him about defund the police. He couldn't shake it. That flyer was pretty significantly damning because it caused an uproar. And he even did a video. So you knew that it was a problem because he did a video. But if he had been hammering Sheng Tao, see, he should have ran against the ghost of Sheng Tao. That's the election. You run against the ghost of somebody looking at 95 years in the slammy and magical things happen for your campaign. I'd have been talking about that all the time, man, and whoever helped run his campaign, you guys failed because this is what I would have done. Okay, Lauren, this is what this would have been my advice. I'd say, come on, Lauren, let's sit down. Buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me dinner. Lauren, here's the election for you. You're running it. You lost you're coming off a loss. Anybody knows when you come off a loss, you got to change it up. You got to be different. Got to be a different guy. Different guy. You got to be different. He's the same guy. That one, you got to change that image. You got to shake that up. One, he had the same image. Look, I'm not telling the guy to not be who he is, but do you want to win or not? This is what I said. This is what I would have said. I didn't say that to him. I'm misspeaking, but this is what I would have said. You got to change your image up. Two, you got to hit every outlet you can hit and talk about Sheng Thao going to jail. That's what you do. And he didn't do it. We would have talked about, here's what I was going to talk to him about. I was going to talk about, hey,